C.S. Lewis said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." So today, from all of your comments on my latest Dreamcatcher tutorial, a lot of you guys wanted me to make a full polymer clay tutorial, so that's exactly what I'm doing. Today I'm going to show you how to make a completely polymer clay Dreamcatcher because my last tutorial had resin middles. So as you can see here, I have 3 polymer clay Dreamcatchers and I'm going to show you how to make one of them and then explain the other one. I'm going to be mixing translucent clay and some cellophane glitter to make my very own Sculpey or Primo opal clay. This hasn't hit stores yet and I think this is a wonderful alternative, and there is a tutorial by YT on how to make this. It's actually really pretty, and I am going to show you a non-baked and baked comparison so you can see for yourself. So here is what my DIY mixture looks like. And there are some big chunks in there that I had to take out, and you'll see me do that during the video. On the left you'll see the pre-baked piece, and then on the right you'll see the baked piece, and you can see how pretty it looks after it's baked. Here I actually only baked it for 5 minutes because I was going to put black clay on it afterwards to start making the shape of the net of the Dreamcatcher. However, I actually do not recommend this method because since the clay hardened at 5 minutes, it was really hard for the black clay to stick on. So instead, I think it's easier if you just roll out some of your clay, translucent or opal, whichever you decide to use, and you can see I picked away at the big cellophane glitter. We are going to start making the shape of the Dreamcatcher net, and this is exactly the same as how my other tutorial with the resin was, where I painted on the squares and then I cut away the insides, or I scraped it away with a toothpick. As you can see, it's the exact same technique with the polymer clay. It just takes a little more time because you're rolling out the individual pieces of clay and then putting it onto your circle. So as you can see, I am cutting away the lines on the inside, leaving only the outline of the 16-sided polygon or the star, and you're going to do this a few times. I found that with the clay I could be a little more precise, so I was actually able to do this 5 times, whereas when I was painting on the resin piece, keeping in mind that the resin piece is a little smaller, I could only paint on about 4 times. As I said in my previous tutorial, the more stars that you can put into the circle or the net, the more realistic it will look. And here is what my final piece pretty much looks like. And after I was finished with the outlining, I went back in with the dotting tool to flatten out the clay, and then I added in my little ring around the circle. For this tutorial, I decided not to roll out the corded part, and I actually also added in eye pins instead of poking holes for jump rings, just to kind of change up the tutorial just a little bit so that you can see there's different ways to do this. So I put 3 eye pins on the bottom, and then I placed a screw eye pin on the top for where the necklace would hang if you were to wear it as a pendant. So this is what it should look like. And for the embellishments or the beads in the middle, I just cut out some green, blue, and pink clay and then started putting it onto the net like so. So this is your entire polymer clay Dreamcatcher tutorial. Now this is what it looks like after it's baked, and I love how the DIY opal clay looks. It looks really pretty, and these two I actually painted the insides, as you can see. On the left, I actually covered the inside with Fimo Deco Gel and baked it so it has a little shine, but they're both really pretty, and I'm gonna glaze both of them anyway. So here are what the 3 pieces look like all finished, and here is the entirely made out of polymer clay piece. And as you can see at the bottom, instead of adding feathers, I added in some metal wings, and then for the next 2 I painted in all the details in the middle and added in some different wings so that it looked a little different from the first one. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and if you have any questions, let me know down below. But if you want to watch the half resin tutorial, I will put an annotation down below and you can click on the screen. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.